Estadio Francisco Morazán. It is our coverage of the Concacaf Nations League quarterfinal first leg tonight as Honduras plays host to Mexico. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, thrilled to have you with us. It is a soggy San Pedro Sula tonight. We're expecting rain and precipitation throughout the evening tonight, adding to what's going to be a wonderful occasion in the Concacaf Nations League. It's our final quarterfinal first leg of this round of the competition, and it is a very familiar Concacaf Nations League matchup as Honduras meet Mexico for a second consecutive season in the Concacaf Nations League quarterfinals. We had an instant classic over two legs last time around, with Mexico just about prevailing on penalties at the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City last time around. But Javier Vasco Aguirre leads El Tri into hostile territory tonight, where they lost by 2-0 in the first leg a year ago. As he exchanged pleasantries with Reynaldo Rueda, the Honduran manager, we are certainly thrilled to see how this first leg plays out in 2024. As you may be able to hear, it is a packed house at the Estadio Francisco Morazán. We are expecting a wonderful atmosphere in Honduras tonight. Again, it was 2-0 to La Ache in the first leg. Last time around, they were wonderful, Honduras, over the first 90 minutes in the quarterfinals in the Nations League last year against Mexico. However, thanks to a late stoppage time equalizer from Edson Alvarez in Azteca, Mexico turned it around. They won 2-0 over the 90 minutes. It went to extra time, of course, because it was tied on aggregate, and Mexico prevailed on penalties at Azteca last time around to get to a Concacaf Nations League semifinal. One of the big storylines, of course, as well coming into the night, is this has really been the competition that's been Mexico's kryptonite over the last 4 or 5 seasons of Concacaf Nations League play. Mexico's been to 2 finals, they've been to multiple semifinals, they've never won this competition. So for them and their supporters, they are very expected tonight, but they're gonna have to deal with a hostile Honduran crowd here in San Pedro Sula tonight. Here come the 2 sets of combatants. We'll step aside for a moment. Anthems, lineups, kickoff between Honduras and Mexico. It's all coming up in just a moment. Well, a tremendous rendition of both countries' national anthems to help get this one started here. Moments away from kickoff in Honduras, between Honduras and Mexico. This first leg of the quarterfinals in the Concacaf Nations League. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, thrilled to be along for the ride with you tonight. Can't wait to see how this one plays out. It's a rematch from last year's quarterfinals. Let's begin with going through the home starting lineup. Reinaldo Ruda's Honduras 11 looks like this. The familiar face of Edric Mendjivar gets the start between the sticks. Daniel Maldonado captains the side in defense. The likes of Davy Flores, Edwin Rodriguez, and Rigoberto Rivas critical in the midfield. And the line will be led up top by Jorge Benguche. Mix of Olimpia and Motagua players, big clubs of course in Honduras, all up and down the Honduran 11. Walter Lopez leads our on-field officiating crew. There's a on-field officiating crew represented by the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, and Guatemala. The two captains meeting in the middle, Daniel Maldonado and of course Memo Ochoa. He's now going to be starting, of course, and I should say appearing over 150 games from Mexico in his illustrious career with El Tri. There is VAR, of course, for the quarterfinal rounds. Tatiana Guzman of Nicaragua, Delia Bradley of Guatemala will take charge of any video assistant referee needs there for reviews. The other side of things for, of course, Vasco Aguirre's Mexico 11, a star-studded one at that. Memo Ochoa, of course, gets the start and goal. Cesar Montes leads the back line alongside Israel Reyes. Luis Chavez and Edson Alvarez are the two sitting midfielders. Orbelin Pineda is just ahead of them in the attacking three in the midfield. And, of course, the number 9 up top is Raul Jimenez, who's in red-hot form for his club side Fulham over in England. It's all poised to be another memorable night in the Concacaf Nations League, and in particular in these knockout phases. First leg here in Honduras, and of course the return leg in Mexico will decide not only which of these two teams will advance to the semifinals, but of course which of these two teams will book a place in next year's Concacaf Gold Cup. Plenty on the line, to say the least. Let's get it started, shall we? Honduras begins kicking us off from left to right in their home whites. Mexico in their road kits will be defending on the right-hand side of your screen. And these quarterfinal first leg is underway in the Concacaf Nations League. Honduras looking to begin with a very positive start here. A good reverse ball in behind. Mexico clear inside of 25 seconds. Raul Jimenez tries to spin past a challenge. It was well defended by Maldonado. And Edric Mendjivar clears for La Ache. You look at the last time these two played in Honduras in the Nations League, and it didn't take Honduras incredibly long to get the first goal. They scored inside of 30 minutes in the first half. A goal that was scored at the time by Anthony Lozano. Let's look at Reinaldo Ruda, who would love nothing more than to get a perfect start here tonight. You can tell by his expression that there may be some butterflies in the stomach of both teams. Great atmospheres like this can do that even to the best. Of course, a 72nd minute goal from Brian Roches helped to seal the deal in the first leg last time around. But again, for those that need a refresher, Mexico turned it around in the second leg and progressed just barely on penalties. This ball's clipped down the near side, trying to pick out Rigoberto Rivas as we look at Vasco Aguirre. Where hasn't he coached and had success in his wonderful career? Of course, known for his playing career, playing for Club America and Guadalajara, has spent most of his time with those two clubs. And of course, played in almost 60 games for Mexico as a player, scored 14 times. Referee has to intervene here. David Flores gets summoned. Just to finish the point, Vasco Aguirre. It's his third stint as the Mexico coach. As we look at the last sequence here, a little coming together. David Flores and Raul Jimenez. And of course, Javier Vasco Aguirre has coached the likes of Atletico Madrid and Japan, among other club and country national teams. Can Honduras create something here in the attacking third? Referee is going to blow the whistle. You can barely hear the whistle inside the Estadio Francisco Morazán. The offside flag had gone up. Just an indication of how loud it is in the building tonight. Both sets of players couldn't hear the referee's whistle. There's a takeaway. Little dink over the top and a clean clearance from Edson Alvarez, but he couldn't pick out a teammate. And the West Ham United man gives it back to Honduras. It's a throw-in. Nice turn by Benguche. Build-up play is solid here from Honduras. Can they maybe find some service into the penalty area? Rivas, a give and go. Rivas to the byline, across into the middle. He's going to be flicked away by Jorge Sanchez. Honduras are able to recycle the attack rather quickly here. And they'll win a throw-in as well. Any bit of positivity, the fans are behind Honduras. And David Flores will recycle the play. Mexico win the ball back here. They actually have some numbers if they can work this quickly. Jimenez scored a wonderful goal against the U.S. in a friendly earlier this year. Alvarez out wide, and the ball in the middle. Ooh, a little bit of miscommunication between Flores and Mendjivar. And Honduras concede a corner after it was a pretty tame situation in the end. The ball was never going to get to Jimenez. And his side, Vasco Aguirre's group, will get a corner here. Luis Chavez, who scored in the second leg between these two last season. He'll unleash his left boot here. And it's wonderful service. It comes up a little bit short. Huerta follows through on the challenge. Referee waits to see if advantage is going to take place here. And it's really good build-up. I should say hold-up play in the end. And the referee is going to bring it back for a free kick. And also, there's a Honduran player down injured here. I think it was Benguche. He was able to really hold up the play beautifully. Another look at that last sequence. It was Huerta who followed through on Alexander Lopez. And ooh, and Lopez was holding onto his right leg right away. And based on the reaction from the Honduran teammates, they might need to have a long look here. I saw a glimpse there of Cesar Huerta. He actually scored one of the 4 conversions in the penalty shootout in last year's Nations League quarterfinal second leg. Santiago Jimenez, Johan Vasquez, and Orbelin Pineda were the other players who converted in the shootout, as you see Justin Arboleda and other Honduran substitutes beginning to warm up here. Again, it's Huerta's challenge, and it's really the follow-through on the right leg of Lopez, which is why we've had this injury stoppage just 6 minutes in. Of course, you hope it's nothing serious for Alexander Lopez, but the fact he's been down for this long, and it's his, looks like it's his knee they're looking at. Ronaldo Ruda is already getting reinforcements ready just in case Alexander Lopez is not able to continue here in this quarterfinal first leg. Good to see Lopez back up onto his feet. You wonder if maybe Lopez will try to give it a go, and then Honduras will have a couple of options to replace him. Oh, maybe not. Able to get back onto his feet, but not able to put a ton of pressure on the right knee. And now you really start to wonder if Honduras is going to have to make an early change here. More signals that that might happen. There is Brian Acosta. He's getting set here. Plays for Real España at the moment. Of course, has plenty of experience for club and for country in his fantastic career as well. And, well, that is a tough, tough moment. Alexander Lopez, you can see how much he is in dismay at the moment. Has to be carried off on the stretcher, and we send our best wishes to him. Have to wait and see what it's going to be like moving forward, but based on what we've seen, as far as the players warming up, wouldn't be terribly surprised if Honduras will have to make a change here. And there you have it. Brian Acosta's on. And Alexander Lopez's night prematurely ends. Of course, Brian Acosta, player who's bounced around in MLS over the years, most recently with Portland Timbers and Colorado Rapids as well, FC Dallas before that. Player with a ton of experience to bring on off the bench. Again, if you're Reynaldo Ruda, you didn't want to have to make that change, but if you have to, not a bad player to bring on, it must be said. And both teams really tonight have plenty of depth on the bench. For Honduras, the likes of Luis Palma and Yastinar Baleda, Brian Acosta, who's now on, of course, make up some of the notables for the hosts. And then for Mexico, Luis Romo, of course, and Diego Lainez has had some magical Mexico moments over the years. Jesus Gallardo, among others. Cross into the middle here, Ochoa. Kind of knocked it down, really. That was a bit risky on his part. Nothing doing in the end. Played in over 150 games for Mexico. Took a bit of a deflection, but Memo Ochoa, not too much trouble with it, and Honduras get possession back in the midfield. The ball was sent up ahead by Andy Nahar, who, when the battle rages on here, and the free kick's going to go Honduras' way. Jesus Angulo and company not thrilled with the referee's decision, but Roberto Rivas continues to try and make an impact for the hosts on this near side. And second examination there. I'm not sure what Angulo really was arguing there. Didn't get too much of the ball, did he? And Honduras take the free kick quickly, trying to catch Mexico out. But the shot is wide by Andy Nahar. Honduras trying to get a bit clever there. It nearly yielded an opportunity. But the shot, to be fair, was nowhere near Ochoa. Maybe caught Mexico out for a split second. But Nahar was always, well, had the percentages against him there, let's just say that. Angle certainly was not in his favor. And a free kick will go Mexico's way. As Julian Quinones trying to make his pathway forward, and he was dragged down. Alvarez going to move Mexico forward. It has been a contentious 12.5 minutes, but we've come to expect that between these two. No surprises there. It is going to be a battle throughout these two legs. Orbelín Pineda moves it forward. It's played back by Sanchez. Near side Angulo for Chavez. He tried to fizz one in there for Cesar Huerta. Too quick for him, and it was off target as well. A bit of a loose touch from Benguche. Don't see that from him too often. Allows Mexico to replenish the play in possession. Looked up ahead by Montes. He's going to be very important at the back tonight. Pineda for Quiñones. Pineda. Chavez. Sliding it through for Jimenez. They're going to be keeping a close eye on Raul Jimenez, that's for sure. Don't want to give him too much space, and then there's miscommunication between Sanchez and Quiñones, and the attack fizzles out for Eltri. Many of these Mexico players have played in very, very difficult atmospheres, including this one, of course. But that might have been another moment where the crowd impacted the communication there. And you had two very experienced players not on the same page. Jimenez tries to fight his way through. And he commits a foul. It's a free kick. And Honduras are not going to waste any time in taking it. Rivas picked out on the near side. Rivas waits for help. Jorge Alvarez arrives. And on the layoff, it was a, well, inaccurate pass on the first time. And then Mexico also give the ball away right after that. Luis Vega and company recycle. Here's Alvarez again. Just battling his way through is Andy Najar. And Rivas is forced to play it back. Errant pass from Vega. Huerta played in by Chavez. Mexico have the numbers here. Cesar Huerta dispossessed by Maldonado. Oh, the captain got it spot on for Honduras, and frankly, he needed to get it spot on. There was 3 Mexico players over in the penalty area, and a foul's going to go against Angulo for a second time. Another Honduran free kick upcoming. Another look. Ooh, it was the arm around the waist. Tried to release it at the end, but it was too late. And the referee, Walter Lopez, was all over it. Looks like Edwin Rodriguez will take this for La Ache. He'll clip this into the penalty area. It's headed high into the air. Mexico were able to play it out of their own penalty area. Quiñones could not keep it in play. And it goes back to Honduras on the far side. Just trying to shepherd it along for Jorge Sanchez, who was going to continue the run. The hosts regain possession. Here's Rivas. Oh, Rivas taken out by Huerta. Oh, and there's bottles flying on the pitch. we get the luxury of a second look. Oh my goodness, Huerta completely misses the ball. Well, you start to wonder if maybe VAR might have to take a double check on that. Might just be the yellow card. Vasco Aguirre just had to dodge a bottle thrown his way. The Honduran fans cannot do that, and the players are actually telling them to stop doing that, which is the right thing to do. Cannot throw things like that and throw anything on the field, frankly. I think an announcement's being made right now as well to tell the Honduran fans to not throw anything onto the field. Throwing things onto the field doesn't help anybody out and could be very, very dangerous. From the free kick, had some good bend and dip on it, but it was to nobody in particular. And it's a goal kick from Mexico at the end of all that. Again, not a bad effort from Joseph Rosales. You can tell exactly where he was trying to aim it, but there was nobody there in a white shirt to get on the receiving end. Mexico play their way through here. Luis Chavez has time and space. Angulo for Huerta. Again, just a reminder, there is VAR. We highlighted that earlier. Wouldn't have been surprised if that Huerta kick-out was just looked at ever so slightly by our video assistant referee crew. Obviously, they were satisfied with just the yellow, but Huerta was borderline towards the orange card territory, if you will. Gotta be more careful than that. Acrobatic clearance upfield. Quinones trying to win it back for Mexico. He could not win it back. And it's flared down the far side. And it's just about kept in play. Or was it? No, Edwin Rodriguez is brought back. Again, it's hard to hear the whistle. I don't think Edwin Rodriguez meant anything by that. I genuinely don't think he heard the referee stop the play. And it's a Mexico throw. Maybe a chance here for Raul Jimenez. Tried to sneak in behind, but it's cleared away by Menjivar. It's been a great recent run of form in the English Premiership for Raul Jimenez. I'd love to continue to carry that over with the Mexican national team here. Oh, when he nearly scored. You simply cannot give Raul Jimenez any space, can you? There's two men around him. It felt kindly for him, and he nearly scored a wonder strike with the volley. Acrobatic, and wow, it was just a whisker away from the post. Well, how many times, whether it's been for Mexico, for Wolverhampton Wanderers, or more recently for Fulham, have we seen Raul Jimenez do something like that? Of course, a few years back went through that really, really difficult head injury, and he suffered over in England, and it's taken him so long to get back to his top status and top talent, really, but he's done it. You have to give Raul Jimenez a ton of credit for bouncing back from what was a very serious injury. And if he's not back to his best, he's about as close as he's been in very, very long time, hasn't he? Players that go through adversity like that really should be applauded. Angulo trying to head that upfield, and then Rivas dispossessed, and Pineda, was he dragged down there? Referee says nothing doing, on we go. But Honduras can't make anything out of it, and Mexico will get possession back, all the way back to Memo Ochoa. A sliding challenge from Benguche, but Chavez retrieves for El Tri. And it's been a wonderful atmosphere to take in this one so far. A packed house. Estadio Francisco Morazán, San Pedro Sula. Rain, of course, continues to come down. It's more than likely going to rain all throughout the night in this Concacaf Nations League quarterfinal first leg. Raul Jimenez has probably had the best chance of the night with that acrobatic volley we just saw about a minute and a half ago. Just briefly saw last season's hero in this fixture in this quarterfinal. Edson Alvarez scored about as deep into injury time as you could possibly get to send it to extra time in the Azteca leg last season. And of course, Mexico, as we mentioned earlier, prevailed on penalty kicks. That foul goes against Mexico here. Benguche. Referee says that Cesar Montes extended his arm. Benguche maybe made the most of that. Pineda on the turn is dispossessed. Davy Flores trying to move forward is taken out. It's going to be a foul here. Is the referee going to need to maybe go back to his pocket here? Angulo, who's been whistled for a couple of challenges. Looks like he's the guilty party again here. And, well, he just hip checks Flores, doesn't he? We've seen that given as a yellow before. Wonder if Angulo maybe just gets a talking to there and nothing more than that, at least for now. As the rain continues to come down, Honduras have a set piece with 20 minutes left in the half. Rodriguez to take. Decent ball in. Oh, was just over the head of Benguche. It's recycled for Andy Najar. And Rodriguez will reset. A couple of promising bits of set-piece deliveries from Honduras in this first half, but no end product. And Rodriguez, well, he sends it out of play in the end. Ruda, just a couple of words of encouragement for Andy Najar, who's had a positive half, I would say, for Honduras. He's done well for the hosts. Here's Huerta. And Huerta will have to settle for a throw. Cesar Huerta, one of the many Mexican players that play in Liga MX, of course. Likes of Tigres, Club America, Pumas, Cruz Azul, and others represented not just in the Mexican 11, but of course on the bench as well, along with the likes of Guadalajara, Monterrey, Toluca. And then, of course, the likes of Jimenez, Alvarez, who play overseas, along with the likes of Pineda and others. It's a Mexico free kick. It's taken quickly to Angulo. Jimenez for Huerta. Chavez bending it into the middle. It's headed high into the air. And Mendívar collects. Quiñones was the target. It nearly got to him. Early ball played in behind here, but Ochoa is just there ahead of Benguche. Well, if it was any more precise, Mexico would have been in big, big trouble. But of course, you could say the same thing about the Chavez cross up the other end. Heavy challenge comes in from Maldonado. Another heavy challenge comes in. And Huerta just sends sends it up towards Quinones. Quinones was bumped, but Mexico keep the possession. Here's Edson Alvarez. Wonderfully weighted ball to find Huerta, but Huerta couldn't control it, and Mexico will settle for a throw. Lovely switch of play from Alvarez. But Huerta, one of the surface, maybe had a little bit of a part in that, not being able to control it. But El Tri have a throw-in to work with as we approach the half-an-hour mark. Gulo, hopeful ball. Quinones was bumped off of it. Alvarez wins it back. Quinones fights his way through, and it's cleared away by Luis Vega. Another player who's going to be very important to Honduras' hopes of progressing to a Concacaf Nations League semi. Honduras' best ever finish in the Concacaf Nations League was in the first season of the competition. Finished in 3rd place. But since then, they haven't been back to a semi-final. As Quinones not quite able to get it under his spell. He appreciates the effort. Menjivar at the play restarted for La H. Of course, Mexico's struggles in this competition, they're well documented. Of course, this is the same team that's the all-time leader in Gold Cup victories. They're the defending champions, of course, 12 triumphs at the Gold Cup. It's just not been the same in the Nations League. 2 runners-up finishes, including last season. Had to settle for 3rd back in 2023. That was the year Canada got all the way to the final. However, of course, on both occasions, the champions ended up being the U.S. Of course, beat Jamaica in their first leg of the quarterfinals. An early goal from Ricardo Pepi enough for Mauricio Pochettino's men to take a 1-goal margin back to the U.S. for the 2nd leg. And of course, earlier today, a tip of the cap to Canada, overcoming a tough atmosphere in Suriname. They came out with a 1-0 victory. Could have been more for Jesse Marsh's men, but they settled for just the 1-goal margin. They'll head north of the U.S. border for the 2nd leg. Bit of a tug on the kit there. It's a Mexico free kick. Joseph Rosales is summoned by the head official here. He'll get a talking to. And that is the reason why Rosales is a bit fortunate not to see a yellow for that. Of course, can't forget about the Panama-Costa Rica quarterfinal as well. That's also a rematch from last year's Nations League quarterfinals. And the Canalmen winning in Costa Rica again, just like they did last year. This year by just the 1-0. Jose Fajardo converting from the penalty spot. The Ticos not out of it yet. My goodness, Panama seem to have the kryptonite against Costa Rica, least of late. Mexico pretty much had a bye through the quarterfinals. Honduras had to qualify through the League A group phase. Finished 2nd in the end. It was a very difficult group to get out of. They did do it, of course. Benguche wins a free kick. Another look. Angulo, who's already had a talking to, is the one who's penalized. Honduras lost just 1 game in the group phase, a group phase that included Nicaragua, Cuba, French Guiana, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago. Very difficult Group B. Honduras were able to make it through in the end. Their only loss was to Jamaica. They had a big win over Trinidad and Tobago early on that really helped to set the pace, and then their other big win back in October, a 3-2 win against French Guiana. Benguche scored the winner in that game. From the set piece here, cleverly worked towards Nahar, but Nahar is not able to keep it going. He fouls Angulo, and it's a free kick from Mexico in the end. Look, it was this push in the back, a little bit of a pull on the arm as well. Nahar trying to do everything he can, keep the attacking sequence going, but referee spotted the infraction. Pressure here from Honduras. Mexico have to be careful. Montez back to Ochoa. The Honduran fans trying to suck the ball in, if you will. They win the ball back in the midfield. And it's a lovely bit of skill that's canceled out by a good challenge from Chavez. Flicked on by Benguche, headed away by Cesar Montes. Some time and space here for Alvarez, who pokes it through for Jimenez, out wide for Quinones. Quinones blocked. Good recovery by Rosales. And it's cleared ahead by Rivas, but to no one in particular. With 10 minutes left in the half, Mexico have a throw-in to work with here. Rio Reyes is going to leave it. It's been mostly half chances for Honduras. To this point in the match, Mexico's big chance was the acrobatic spinning volley from Raul Jimenez. Other than that, not too much to speak of yet. Orbelín Pineda dispossessed. Huerta tries to pick up the pieces off the deflection. Mexico have a throw-in. Quickly taken for Jimenez. But Jimenez is quickly dispossessed by Rodriguez. And Rodriguez, it's lovely skill, he plays his way through. And Honduras continue to move it forward. Alvarez for Rodriguez. And on the near side, there's no foul. Referee gives Mexico the throw. Well, some stellar skill from Edwin Rodriguez to play Honduras out of trouble. That was the back end of that sequence. He thought he was fouled. Referee disagrees. Edson Alvarez has had a wonderful start to the evening, and he plays in Pineda. Quinones. Orbelín Pineda trying to thread the needle. A shot comes in. Oh, it's wide. And it deflects out for a corner. That was Jorge Sanchez, of all people, trying to take aim. Another look. Oh, it did take a little bit of a nick, it looks like. It was off of Luis Vega. They have a Mexico set piece upcoming. Some of the traveling Mexico supporters making themselves heard in this near side corner. Chavez. It's headed away. Lovely chest control from Chavez to recycle for Huerta. Pineda. Oh, it's a free header. And the header is saved by Menjivar. That was Cesar Montes who stayed up there and made good contact with it as well. No trouble in the end for the Honduran #1. Near giveaway there from Honduras, but Edson Alvarez can't make the most of it. And the hosts get a chance to build through Nahar. And Rivas will take his foot off the gas for just a moment. Ooh, lovely one-touch passing in the midfield here. Rodriguez. Can he stride forward? I think there's too many defenders around him. He still manages to keep going. Rivas helps him out. Nahar lays it off. Here comes the shot, and it's saved by Ochoa off the boot of Rosales. Best chance so far for Honduras. It was a rocket, but it was right at Memo Ochoa. Side of him, and you may have heard some Honduran celebrations. Takeaway. Ball still in play. And on the cutback, Rodriguez blocked. He had Benguche to his right. Honduras building ahead of steam towards the end of the half. Rosales not able to keep it in play on the back end. Well, two big Honduran chances. Rosales and then Rodriguez. Turn by Huerta. Alvarez for company. Alvarez is able to just about thread the needle for Jimenez. It's going to fall kindly here for Orbelín Pineda, who's blocked. And there were a few of his teammates, most notably Jimenez, asking why he didn't pass it. Alvarez recycles for El Tri. Chavez on a plate for Huerta, who keeps it in play. Angulo's first time ball in. Jimenez is not going to be able to keep it in play. Some positive moments from Vasco Aguirre's group. Really, both teams have had their moments. It's been a pretty even first half overall. I think maybe Honduras have slightly edged it. And you could certainly argue that Mexico have had the more quality chances in the half, that's for sure. But on the quantity, have to give the slight edge to Honduras here. Still 3 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half in this Nations League quarterfinal first leg. Montes has had one of the best chances for Mexico in the half. Played out wide by Pineda for Chavez. It's clipped towards the arriving Angulo. And Angulo's dispossessed by Rivas. And the visitors will settle for a throw. Throw-in is taken quickly, but it's covered by Nahar. Rivas clears. Benguche trying to keep it alive. Chavez wins it back. Alvarez quickly up ahead. Jimenez out to the far side. Sanchez plays it for Chavez. When then Chavez trying to switch the point of the attack, ends up giving the ball away. How can Honduras bring this forward? Referee is going to bring it back. It looked like there was a big shirt pull in there. It's a Honduras free kick. Wonder if there'll be any further action on the back end. Looks like there won't be. Wonderful switch of play to find Rivas. Rigoberto Rivas into the middle. Huerta. Rivas tries to keep it alive, and it's touched out towards Pineda. And then Edson Alvarez, a clever touch to get around the challenge, and now a chance for Pineda to lead the Mexico break. Pineda for Quiñones, for Jimenez, and Menjivar beats him to the summit. Ooh, and Menjivar took exception to Rivas bumping into him, or beg your pardon, Jimenez bumping into him. It's a wonderful bit of transitional play from Orbelin Pineda. Looked like Quiñones just stayed onside. I don't think Jimenez meant too much by that, but he did bump into Menjivar on the back end. Menjivar, I think, saying that he could have maybe stopped his jump. And we're into 3 added minutes at the end of the half. Of course, some of those minutes account for the Alexander Lopez injury. For those just joining us, Lopez for Honduras left early. Brian Acosta took his place, the only change of the night so far. I think Menjivar and Daniel Maldonado are asking a question of a possible yellow there. I don't know about anything with that, but goalkeepers want to be protected. You can understand why. But to be fair, I think Jimenez just mistimed his jump. Don't think there was any malice in there. A couple minutes left for someone to gain a halftime lead. This is going to be a takeaway. Chavez up ahead. Jimenez on the hold-up play. Here's Edson Alvarez. Cesar Montes. On the turn, it's Pineda. Huerta. 3 around him. He was dispossessed. But it's not dealt with yet. It falls kindly for Chavez. Raul Jimenez also swarmed and dispossessed. Rivas from Nahar. Mexico trying to keep the heat on Honduras here at the end of the half. But Nahar clears it over the top. And that header is won back by Honduras here. They have the numbers if they hurry. Rodriguez leads the charge. Still Rodriguez! And it's saved comfortably by Ochoa with just under a minute left in the half. Now the break was on all the way. Mexico tried to actually commit a foul to stop it, and Rodriguez let it fly, but it ended up being pretty kind on the bounce for Memo Ochoa. Especially with the slick surface, the veteran fielded it ever so well. Montes. Final seconds of the half, and that's where we'll leave it at the end of the half. Well, no score between Honduras and Mexico at the end of 45 minutes in this quarterfinal first leg. Certainly not for a lack of trying. Both teams had big opportunities in the first half. Mexico most notably through Raul Jimenez and Jorge Sanchez. For Honduras, it was Joseph Rosales. Sean St. Jacques back here with you, moments away from the start of the second half in this Concacaf Nations League quarterfinal first leg. It is Honduras 0, it is Mexico 0. 45 minutes still to play. Close calls for both teams, really. In that first half, we talked about it, how Honduras maybe had the solid chances. The quality, I should say, beg your pardon, of the chances really went Mexico's way in that first half. Stats, as we showed you as well, pretty even for the most part. So something's got to give in this second half. Of course, we'll have the second leg in Mexico in just a few days' time. Who will have the advantage going into that all-important second 90 minutes? We've just been told no substitutions for either side. And it does look like more debris has been thrown onto the pitch by the Honduran supporters here, and then it's going to have to stop as the second half begins. Mexico will go from left to right in the second 45 minutes. Honduras will defend on the right-hand side of your screen in all white, the blue numerals. It's been a wonderful atmosphere. It's been a really well-played game as well. Only one yellow card in that first half. That was for Cesar Huerta. And of course, we had the first half substitution as well. Alexander Lopez left with an injury. Looked like it was his right knee. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's not too serious. We'll have to wait on a diagnosis there. And Brian Acosta, of course, came on. But the winners in the quarterfinals after two legs will not only move on to the Concacaf Nations League finals and play in a semifinal, but of course punch a ticket to a spot in next year's Concacaf Gold Cup as well, where of course Mexico are not just the record champions, they're the defending champions. It's a good touch in space there by Jorge Sanchez, who came close to scoring in the first half. Here's Quiñones. Back for Chavez. Well, Sanchez again has some time and space to operate. Quiñones gets it back to him. Sanchez harried and forced back by Rosales. Edson Alvarez. Angulo for Huerta. Angulo back to Huerta. Can he get there? Not quite. Who was it last off of in the end? No signal yet from the referee. Mexico are convinced it should have been a corner. I think goal kick ends up being the decision here. Another look. Did Mexico have a case? Oh, it was close. Mexico are contesting that Maldonado's follow-through was the last touch. Tough to tell from that vantage point. The referee was slightly behind it. So can't blame him too much for giving a goal kick there, although both teams are waiting with bated breath to see the referee signal there. Edwin Rodriguez, my goodness, talk about strength and stability on the ball. Centering pass looking for Benguche. Referee looks to play advantage here for Rodriguez. Early ball in is headed away. And then it's a clumsy challenge from Rodriguez on Chavez, and it's a free kick for El Tri. There was the look at the Rodriguez foul. Clearly knew what he was doing there. What you didn't see in that replay was the wonderful build-up play and the hold-up play by Edwin Rodriguez to get the sequence started for Honduras. Benguche was fouled, but referee allowed advantage to continue the attacking sequence, and Reinaldo Arruda's group was not able to make the most of it. You could see Towards the top end of your picture, top right end of your picture, some of the debris that was thrown onto the field by some of the Honduran supporters. Chavez, more of a clearance than a pass towards a teammate, and it's a good touch ahead. Maybe another chance here for Honduras when the early ball threaded through by Acosta was cut out. Quinones up ahead. Some of the Honduran fans were calling for a handball there. Play continues with Huerta. Still Huerta! Oh! Menjivar palms it out for a corner. Well, the Honduran fans continue to boo Huerta for his yellow card challenge in the first half. He nearly created an opportunity here. It actually took a wicked ricochet off of Nahar. And Menjivar actually made a very good stop considering the change in direction. Luis Chavez to take the corner. And this time it comes up well short, headed away by Alvarez. Sanchez for Mexico. This is the final quarterfinal first leg, and then we'll have all the second legs early next week. So far, it has been a very strong performance from the visiting teams in these Nations League quarterfinals so far, and all by a score of 1-0 in favor of Panama, Canada, and the U.S. Honduras would love nothing more than to change that tonight. Mexico have other ideas. Quinones. Raul Jimenez is fouled. It's a free kick. Referee took a long, hard look at it. And Mexico will get a set piece and a very good patch on the grass here. Prime real estate for Luis Chavez, you would think, who of course scored a free kick from Mexico in the second leg last time these two met in the quarterfinals a year ago. That was the goal that allowed Mexico to mount a comeback and knock Honduras out. That was in the second leg at the Estadio Azteca. So you're going to try and recreate the magic here. It's from roughly the same distance, maybe a little bit further back this time. Of course, Raul Jimenez is the other candidate to try to test Menjivar. But this does feel like prime Chavez territory. It's going to be Jimenez. Jimenez hits it right into the wall, which does its job. And Mexico will settle for a corner. Of course, Jimenez is a very good striker of the ball himself, but he hits it right into Davy Flores. Of course, Luis Chavez scored that magical goal in Qatar and Saudi Arabia in the group stage a few years ago as well. And from the set piece here, oh, the header is just wide off of Cesar Montez's head. Mexico thought there was a deflection. I think goal kick ends up being the decision here. Montez just missed hitting that sweetly with his head. Vasco Aguirre looks on as his side tries to grab the advantage here. Honduras, under the Mexico pressure, are going to be forced to clear. Alvarez wins it back. And the ball was, well, nearly threaded all the way through for Pineda. And after that challenge comes in from Quinones, it's a Honduran throw on the near side. Good start to the second half for Mexico. Haven't seen much at all in the attacking third for Honduras. Nearly 10 minutes into the start of the second half. Honduras will get the decision here. It's a free kick. Wry smile from Quiñones. To be fair to him, there wasn't a ton in that. Of course, when will both coaches to their reinforcements in the second half? Both teams still in search of the opening goal. And both have plenty of reinforcements if need be. Benguche held up the play. Acosta. Centering pass comes up a bit short. Was there a challenge in that? Ooh, the offside flag goes up. The initial indication was that there might have been a foul here on the follow-through. Another look at it there. Alvarez followed through on by Luis Chavez. But then I think, as well, more garbage has been thrown onto the field here. That continues to be unacceptable behavior from the home supporters. Alvarez is back up. Well, Luis Romo doesn't have a penny on, which would mean that he's likely to come on in a moment or two for Mexico. Of the Monterrey men in this Mexico squad tonight. Here's Huerta, more garbage thrown onto the field. Well, the Honduran support have been wonderful with their voices, not as much with their hands tonight, let's just say that. Alvarez gets it back from Angulo. Jimenez lays it off for Quiñones. Oh, Mendjivar saves it off the post. Julian Quiñones comes so close to opening the scoring for Mexico. It's a laser beam of a strike, and it looked like Mendjivar saved this, and he saved it onto the post. That was going to go and nestle into the bottom corner. And now here come the Mexico changes. Luis Chavez will exit. Luis Romo will take his place. And that's not the only change. Quiñones just missed scoring the opening goal. It would have been a wonderful strike. His night ends there, and Alexis Vega is going to come on and replace him. The Toluca man enters the fray for Mexico after their best chance of the night was saved onto the post, but the referee, I don't think, saw that and gives Honduras a goal kick. It looked like that should have been a Mexico corner. In some ways, it doesn't do Mendjivar justice for a marvelous save for Honduras. Unfortunately for Quiñones, it's his last act of the night. How unlucky is that? Spinning clearance from Sanchez. Could fall kindly for Pineda, but it's a good header away by Luis Vega. And the pass back is retrieved by Rosales. Not a good clearance from Mendjivar. But he gets some needed assistance from Brian Acosta. This time, Mendjivar sends it a little bit further downfield. Nahar out-muscled by Angulo. Here is Luis Romo's first contribution of the night. Huerta looks to cross it into the middle. And In the end, Pineda falls down to the ground. Was there any contact there? No appeals from the Mexico players there. Or if Pineda maybe just lost his balance in the end. Remember, there is VAR for moments like that. Give and go here, Luis Romo with Raul Jimenez. And it's Edson Alvarez who had the rub of the green there, had plenty of space to run into. Honduras finally closed him down before he could make up his mind. One back by Romo. Huerta. Jimenez. And it's Raul Jimenez. I think he was trying to cross it. Ended up turning into a shot that Ivar was able to corral. Mexico are finding more and more momentum as this second half progresses. Quick throw it down the line, looking for Benguche. And Benguche commits a foul. It's a free kick. And Honduras are getting ready to move the chess pieces around. Justin Arboleda is to be getting set to come on, and Luis Palma, the Celtic player, is also getting set to enter the field of play. Of course, Celtic are currently holding their own in the UEFA Champions League right now, the Scottish Giants. That man knows a thing or two about big games, so does he. 30 minutes to go in this one. Honduras are about to make not their first change of the night, but their first second half changes of this quarterfinal first leg. And without any surprise, two strikers are going to come on. You mentioned Palma plays for Celtic in Glasgow. Arboleda plays for Honduran Giants, CD Olympia. As you can see by our wonderful pictures here, the rain has not let up. In fact, it's gotten heavier. And San Pedro Sula. Here come the Honduran changes. We know who's coming on. What we don't know is who's coming off Reinaldo Ruda's group. Well, let's find out. First change, Palma. He's actually going to come on for the first half substitute. Ryan Acosta, who unfortunately cannot continue. That is such a tough sight to see. Two players now have had their nights end prematurely for Honduras this evening. The other change is a straight swap. Jorge Benguche. He's going to come out. And Arboleda will take his place. One Olympia striker replaces the other. And both players get a roar of an applause as they enter the field of play. From the restart, Menjivar will collect for Honduras. Just under half an hour plus stoppage time to go. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, hope you've enjoyed it so far. It's been another drama-packed evening in the Concacaf Nations League. Oh, here's a takeaway. Rodriguez, saved by Ochoa. The rebound is in. It's his first touch. Luis Palma scores for Honduras. And the Estadio Francisco Morazán explodes into life. Talk about packing a punch. Luis Palma gives Honduras the lead. sub, Luis Palma, sends them into a frenzy. It's off the miscue. Rodriguez lets it fly. Good save by Ochoa, but Palma beats him to the rebound. And it's Honduran hysteria. Another big moment in the Concacaf Nations League. Could it be Honduras's big moment on the night? Must be said, it's against the run of play. Mexico were so good to start the second half, but in an instant, Luis Palma's first touch is a Honduran goal. And La Ache are going absolutely bonkers. What a moment. Here's a takeaway for Mexico. Pineda playing it centrally. And it's Edson Alvarez, maybe one too many touches. He's dispossessed. Here comes Honduras again, and they have the numbers in transition. Rodriguez. Rosales for Rodriguez, blocked. And the follow-up is cleared by Angulo. Rodriguez just continues to shine in this second half for La Ache. He's running riot. Nice ball threaded through here. Alvarez runs out of space, and it's a throw-in for Mexico. Much needed for the visitors. Did it to Mexico here in the first leg a season ago. Is it happening again? Handball there, gives it back to Honduras. Marquez is trying to do everything he can to help Mexico mount a comeback. He's been a part of many Mexico revivals in the past. It's going to be another heavy challenge and a free kick, and this time Luis Romo is summoned by the referee. Another look. Well, that's Luis Palma upended. Oh, and Luis Romo knew exactly what he was doing there. Been surprised he wasn't booked for that. Wonder if it was coming down to the fact that it was just his first indiscretion. It's turning into another electric night here in Honduras in the Nations League. Luis Palma, you talk about an instant impact. His first touch since coming off the bench. Just 4 minutes ago, giving Honduras a priceless lead here in the first leg of the quarterfinals. Here's the goal. Rodriguez with the strike. Ochoa's save. Luis Palma in the right place at the right time to score for Honduras. And this place went absolutely crazy. Incredible scenes. From the free kick, it's going to be headed wide. What was it last off of? Again, no signal from the referee. Now he points, and it's a goal kick, it looks like. Ooh, although, on the replay there, did it come off of Raul Jimenez last? It did. Well, I don't think the referee had the best view of that, and in the end, Honduras are denied a corner that they should have had, really. Davy Flores trying to keep it going for Honduras. Keep an eye on him as we enter the final 20 minutes plus stoppages in this quarterfinal first leg. The man who applies his trade for his club football in Glasgow. He's the hero of the moment right now, Luis Palma. But there's still a big 20 minutes to go on the night. Flores for Rosales. Palma, good ball into the middle, Arboleda. And then it was a decent opportunity for Alvarez, who couldn't command the sequence. Flores for Palma again. Palma with two defenders on him. It looked like he'd want to throw in. Not the case. It goes back to Mexico. Lovely flick from Jimenez. Pineda out wide. This is Vega. That goes out of play, and it's a Mexico throw. Well, Honduras now feel that they should have had a couple of the last decisions go their way, and it hasn't quite happened that way. It's going to be cleared up field. Chance for Arboleda to get a touch onto this. Arboleda continues to fight for it, and he's brought down. It's a free kick. And the referee, I believe, is going to go to his pocket. That's going to be a yellow card, I believe, for Cesar Montes. Arboleda just wouldn't quit. He ends up out-muscling Montes, and Montes does bundle him over. And it puts Honduras in a very strong position here to put the ball into the penalty area. Joseph Rosales to take. Can he pick somebody out? Rosales fizzes one in there. It's headed high into the air. It bounces around for Flores, who couldn't get a head onto it. Angulo emerges with possession, and Mexico will clear it ahead to Pineda. A chance for Ochoa and company to catch their breath. Now Mexico comfortably lead the all-time series between these two, but as of late, especially in the Nations League, Honduras have given Mexico heaping helpings of trouble. And tonight has been no exception so far. Another chance for Honduras to build something here. Palma resets. Gets it back from Flores. When Palma hits the ground, Vasco Aguirre says nothing in it. Mexico manager. Maldonado. It's threaded down the line. Tried to find Nahar. Nahar's pursuit continues, and then he bundles through the back. Oh, and actually it goes out for a goal kick. And Honduras are claiming that if it wasn't a foul and it did go out of play, that it should have been a corner. And they would be correct. Well, if there was no foul, and frankly, there should have been a foul. That was last off of Mexico. We can maybe make the argument that in the end, Mexico getting possession is the right decision, but because there was no foul called, it should have been a corner. Now then, Luis Romo. Thought about moving it forward, but then retreats in the end to find Edson Alvarez. 15 minutes left, plus stoppage time in this quarterfinal first leg. Luis Palma has Honduras ahead on the night and, of course, on aggregate. Romo for Montes. All the way back for Reyes. Romo, oh, it's a miscued touch from Edson Alvarez. You rarely see that. Mexico now have to try to fight to win it back. It's a clumsy challenge from Jorge Sanchez. And he will receive some words from the referee. A frustration here from Sanchez, knowing the attacking sequence had just about fizzled out. And Mexico are going to make a couple of swaps here. Pineda, he's going to come out. And Angel Sepulveda, he's going to take his place, having a great season in Liga MX. And Raul Jimenez will exit as well. Guillermo Martinez will take his place. Sepulveda plays for Cruz Azul. He's been wonderful during the Mexican domestic league season. Guillermo Martinez of Pumas, he's also on. So a fresh set of attackers on for Mexico. And to be fair to Vasco Aguirre, as far as attacking players, that's about all Mexico can do. As far as substitutions, the rest of the contingent on the Mexico bench is essentially midfielders and defenders. Although Jesus Gallardo could be a candidate to come on and be a game changer. Oh, lovely ball in behind here. Chance for the equalizer. Oh, it's scuffed. That was a real chance from Alexis Vega. And he ends up fluffing the opportunity, and Honduras now look to break up the other end. That's the best chance Mexico have had in about 15 to 20 minutes. Rodriguez up ahead. Time and space here for Nahar. And a chance to move this forward. In the middle for Arboleda. And then Palma. Blocked away by Sanchez. Decent ball in. Little hint of offside, it should be said. But my goodness, what a block from Jorge Sanchez to deny Luis Palma. And Honduras will have to settle for a corner. Arboleda, I think, was the target on that ball in. It went past him, and Palma nearly doubled his tally. Rosales to deliver the set piece. Towards Ochoa. And Ochoa is able to make the catch. And he'll clear with 11 minutes left of the 90. Nahar on the cover to make sure Huerta didn't get on the end of it. Good challenge defensively by Maldonado, but Mexico keep the attack moving. Alvarez. Romo. Well, if Mexico are going to make amends for the first leg loss a season ago, they've only got 10 minutes plus stoppages left. Oh, a lovely touch into the path of Romo! And Menjivar is able to make the stop. That was some beautiful buildup from Mexico. I think it was Vega. Lovely little layoff here. And Luis Romo just not able to put enough behind it in the end. Menjivar holds on for dear life as he clears it away. Martinez on the hold-up. And his reverse ball is going to find Menjivar, who's going to use a little bit of time. Nahar has to be careful, some pressure there, and he just dinks it over the top. And Montes, he's able to clean it up. A similar moment is what nearly allowed Honduras to score a second goal. Now what can Mexico create up the other end? A little bit of embellishment there, but Mexico do get the decision. I think Vega more backed into Nahar than anything else, but we saw where the referee's rough vantage point of that was, and you can see why he gave it. That's threaded through here. It's decent hold-up play, my goodness. There was a brief chance there for Martinez to pick somebody out. Now Sanchez. Oh, it's given away to Huerta. Romo plays it across, and there's nobody there for Mexico to get on the end of it. Well, a nervy moment there from La Ache. Not the most definitive of clearances. But again, Mexico not quite able to take advantage. Montes out wide. Down the line for Romo. Luis Romo keeps it in play, but Maldonado is able to hoof it forward. It took a deflection. Overhead kick from Alvarez. Arbaleda's hold-up play. He does really well and finds Luis Palma. It's a 4-on-4. Luis Palma leads the break. Luis Palma goes for goal and finds it! Luis Palma's done it again for Honduras! So nice, he scored twice! fair to say that the roof's come off the old place. Just look, it's bouncing in Honduras right now. Sanchez. It's going to fall for a chance here from Mexico, and Menjivar holds on. That was promising. That was Alexis Vega taking aim. But Edric Menjivar, in the end, holds on. Vega's had a couple of good contributions so far. Not able to beat the goalkeeper there. We're 4 minutes away, plus stoppage time, from a deja vu moment in the Nations League. It was 2-0 to Honduras last year. It's 2-0 to Honduras again. One back in the midfield. Palma, who's on a hat-trick. Palma loses out this time, but so does Huerta. Thrown in towards Arboleda. Rodriguez. Nahar. They couldn't score a third, could they? Nahar dispossessed. I'm not sure the stadium will stay out, well, I should say, will stay standing if Honduras scores a third. I think the referee stopped it there for a free kick. Again, more debris coming onto the pitch. Fans have got to stop doing that. It's frankly unacceptable. Though Rosales may have been a little bit hard done by with the referee's decision there. Did pretty well to get it back for Honduras. Down to the 89th minute we go. Palma helping out defensively. And Honduras, ooh, it was cleared away. I think the decision is going to go the way of the hosts here. Might have been some follow-through. Oh, it was a handball, well spotted. And the referee, we did not see that initially. It's below the shirt line, and Huerta should have been more careful there. He's on a yellow card. referee could have taken a very dim view of that, and frankly, could have gotten some assistance there from VAR. Well, Mexico now have to hope that there's going to be a decent amount of stoppage time remaining. Sanchez floats it into the middle, looking for Vega. Headed away only as far as Romo, who can't hold on to it. And again, Honduras moving forward. Luis Romo is surely going to be booked for stopping that counterattack. And the referee does pull out a yellow card. And to be fair to Luis Romo, Honduras were almost clear if he doesn't make this challenge. The way Edwin Rodriguez has played tonight, Honduras could have really created something there. And we are into 4 added minutes at the end of this quarterfinal first leg. One that has been taken over in this second half by Luis Palma, who has scored both of the Honduras goals. Here comes some Honduran reinforcements here. Rodrigo Huescas, he's going to come on, as is one of his teammates. But first, it looks like, oh, beg your pardon, it's Carlos Pineda, I should say. Apologies there. Carlos Pineda is on for Rivas, beg your pardon. And Raul Santos is also going to come on for Honduras. Jorge Alvarez is going to make way. Double swap for Honduras. We're nearly over the line with another famous result over Mexico in the Nations League. Should say, of course, that from this position last year, of course, Mexico came back to win and still progressed. But Vasco Aguirre's group are going to have to do it the hard way again, it looks like, in the Concacaf Nations League quarterfinals. And Honduras are 2 minutes away from being in pole position again to knock Mexico out. Santos will clear it. Under 2 minutes remaining. Romo for Edson Alvarez. Reyes. Honduran fans trying to get their beloved side over the line here. Ball's clipped into the penalty area. Menjivar didn't quite get that right. But there's a foul going the other way against Guillermo Martinez. And Luis Vega is down hurt. He'll take us inside the final minute of the minimum of 4. Another look. Keep your eye on 22 here. Martinez, he just crashes in there, doesn't he? Wasn't looking at the ball. Just smashes into Vega, knowing he couldn't get to the ball. And that alleviates the pressure. Final seconds, then it's up to the referee after that. Sent ahead by Menjivar. Palma pulling out the party tricks. And a high boot, and on top of that, an offside flag goes up. Edson Alvarez just trying to get the ball back for Mexico, and Arboleda trying to make life as difficult for him as possible. Alvarez not taking the bait. Honduras, not just their technical area, but their fans craving the whistle. And there is the whistle! Honduras have beaten Mexico in the first leg of the Nations League quarterfinals for a second consecutive season. A brace from Luis Palma, who's the man of the hour for Honduras, sees them take a 2-0 lead to Mexico for the all-important second leg. And for a second consecutive season, Mexico are going to have to come back from 2 goals down in the quarterfinals if they are to progress through to the Nations League semis. Should mention as well that because of this result tonight, the defending Gold Cup champions as well, Mexico, may be in trouble as far as qualifying for the 2025 edition. All of it will be played out in the second leg next week. But for tonight, the Honduran fans can celebrate. They win it by 2 goals to 0 in leg number 1. And we'll see if they can finish it off next week in the all-important Mexican second leg. We'll have interviews to come, followed by the highlights and the stats here in Honduras tonight.
Están llevando al jugador, se lo llevaron.
Luis, la mejor noche, una noche mágica para Luis. Retorna y mecer las mallas contra México.
Es un momento bastante emotivo para mí, porque hace 2 semanas perdí a mi abuela, una persona muy importante en mi vida que me marcó. Y le doy la honra y la gloria a Dios por eso, por estos regalos que me dio, y espero que mi mamita esté muy contenta donde quiera que esté y que me dio a hacer lo que más me gusta, y estoy muy alegre por el equipo, por la selección. Hicimos un gran trabajo todos, de principio a fin. Un resultado bastante importante, pero falta otro partido que va a ser más importante que este.
Se trabajó mucho, entraste y 2 goles.
Como te digo, le pedí mucha fuerza a Dios, soñé tanto con este momento. Estos últimos meses no han sido como yo lo he querido. Y bueno, esto de volver a celebrar, a anotar un gol, 2 goles, es una alegría inmensa para mí.
Gracias, Luis.
Sean St. Jacques here with you. Let's look back on a memorable night in the Concacaf Nations League quarterfinals. We begin with an early chance for Raul Jimenez from Mexico. This was in the first half, an acrobatic volley, twisting and turning to try to give Mexico the lead. He was not quite able to do so. That was one of Mexico's better opportunities in the first half. Pretty even first 45 minutes overall. Honduras had their chances as well. This is Rosales taking aim. Shot saved by Memo Ochoa. But then the second half, some chances again for both sides. Quiñones, that was Mexico's best chance of the whole night. Quiñones' shot saved onto the post by Edric Menjivar. Turned out to be a gigantic moment in the match. That goal, if it had gone in, of course, would have completely changed the momentum. But then, Luis Palma was brought on as a substitute, and after Rodriguez's shot was saved, Luis Palma's first touch after coming on was sent into the back of the net. And Luis Palma, you heard him just a moment ago, dedicating the goals to his late grandmother. Talk about a super sub. Rodriguez with the save from Ochoa, and then Palma tucking it in from a tight angle to give Honduras the lead in the 64th minute. And frankly, the hosts would not look back from there. But Luis Palma, talk about putting your name up in lights and sending Honduras into a frenzy. Incredible scenes there. Mexico nearly found an immediate reply. Vega not able to line up the shot. It was brilliantly worked by Sanchez and Huerta. Vega couldn't take the ball with him to put a shot on target. But then Honduras continued to push. This is another chance for Luis Palma. Jorge Sanchez was able to block it away. Palma almost had a hat-trick tonight. This was in the middle of his 2 goals, a really good attempt. Wonderful stop from Sanchez. Then here, Luis Romo off the layoff from Martinez, not quite able to beat Menjivar, and that was probably the last big chance Mexico had in the match. Then here, good build-up from Arboleda, leading to a break here from Luis Palma. And Palma would take it all the way and finish the job for Honduras. A majestic finish to make it 2-0 with 7 minutes of the 90 left. And Luis Palma's 2 goals, more than enough to see Honduras win the first leg and take a 2-goal lead back to Mexico for the second leg next week. How about this? Palma literally went half the pitch to score it and just calmly passed it in. Talk about composure, I should say, and poise under pressure to see Honduras win the game by the dreaded 2-0 if you're a Mexican supporter. Incredible scenes, really, after both Palma goals. And Honduras are in pole position going into the second leg with a chance to pull off the upset and go to the semifinals. Well, a wonderful night here in Honduras. I should mention the supporters provided a great atmosphere, but the throwing of debris onto the pitch, we saw Javier Vasco Aguirre take a bottle onto the head. We cannot condone that. It's shameful behavior as far as that's concerned. But you look at the full-time match statistics, Honduras on the field, thoroughly deserving of the result. Mexico had their chances, but they now have it all to do in the second leg for a second season in a row. Magical night for Honduras. They beat Mexico by 2-0 in this quarterfinal first leg. We say so long from San Pedro Sula.